Hello, everyone. Just gonna make sure everything's all good. How's my stream quality? Other than the noise, which is probably awful from these printers over here. Hello, TNX. Welcome back. There's a lot going on. We'll get started. Okay, good. Good to hear. Okay, 4K. Ah, awesome. This place has better internet than my last office, so this should all be good. So today I've got, I'm just introducing you to my new space. So this is my new office. It's pretty small. I have 2 tables and all the important stuff from my old office, including this giant printer. So yeah, this is going to be my new lab. I've got my the little logo here, so that's obviously very important. And I've got a couple printers to show. So we've got the Ender 3 V3 Plus, which I left a link to. This thing's on sale right now. And it's okay. I mean, it's fast and it's big. It's not really meant to print speed benchies, although I did print a speed benchy with it. Randomly woke up at 4 a.m. and find this. Guess it's not too bad. Yep. All right, mouse, just make sure to leave the stream running when you fall back asleep so I get all the credit for the ads that it shows you. Okay, all right, and it's kind of warm in here because I got my printers running. Got the PRUSA MK4 running over there too. And here's my massive air purifier. So while I'm printing in this enclosed space, I've got good air quality, which is important, in case you didn't know. Okay, so what's on the docket for today? Well, I'll answer any questions you have about these 2 printers. This Ender 3 V3 Plus, this is my first time using it. So I don't know. I guess I'm forming my impressions about it, and I'll have a full video on it in a couple days. Seems all right. I don't know where the benchy went. You should probably see the benchy if you're thinking about buying this that thing. The benchy was not very good. The benchy quality was not great because this bed is much heavier than a normal sized printer. So, you know, it can't do those fast accelerations that are required for a speed benchy. The main thing I'm going to be doing today, though, is... Let me just get all these thingies out of the way. We're going to be building the PRUSA MMU. So I got this thing to go along with my PRUSA. I bought this at MSRP just because, I don't know, when I want to make content about something, it's better to just buy it instead of begging someone to give it to me for free. So I got the MMU3, so I can do multicolored printing. Almost midnight in Finland. Oh, TNX, you're from Finland. Cool. Yeah, there's no such thing as midnight. The sun never sets. Okay, so one thing I noticed about this over here is this is a bit of a pinch hazard if you're if you're touching the screen and then this like comes way out, it can hit your knuckles and it can move really fast. So it's a little dangerous, but you know, print quality's good, and they didn't skimp out on the bed this time. They made the bed and carriage plenty thick so that there's no bed leveling issues. On previous Enders, like the Ender 3 S1 Plus, it wasn't able to put like a good first layer down on a lot of their previous printers, but they thickened it up here and it's working a lot better. Okay, so let's get to the topic of the day, though. Ah, yes. Yeah, I've got some videos in the works, so don't worry, we'll have some good stuff coming out. But for now, I just want to build this thing, and I don't want to. I don't want to have to edit all the footage because it's a lot of parts. Let me get you a good angle up here so you can see. I don't know. I'm still figuring out how to film in here. Yeah, so it's a lot of parts. This is kind of a build your own adventure type of thing. And I think I need to look up the instructions too. So I will get on that. So instructions right there. I can't scan it on my phone because I'm using it to stream, but I will look it up on my laptop. So prusa.io/MMU3. Okay, let's do it. So I've got the manual, and now it's time to build this thing. And it's going to take a long time. So if you got any questions about what I'm working on, or the MMU or anything else, feel free to ask. I will check on the chat and see how you guys are doing. So as far as I know, this is only compatible with the MK3 and MK4. We had quite a detailed question there from Frankie. How much the MMU3 changed over the MMU2? The 2 is noisy, decent, but works. I wish they had a different system for filament holding and buffer. Yeah, I will be able to answer that question in about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, once I've had a chance to use this thing a little bit. Got the golden gummy bears, so of course I'll try a couple of those. Okay. Zip ties. Man, this is a lot of stuff. Okay. I guess I'll start with whatever the instructions tell me to start with. These gummy bears are really chewy. Okay. All right. I'm on page 20 and I haven't got to the assembly instructions yet. Okay. Well, that's not what I wanted. All important user information is described in the printed handbook. Okay, how do I put this thing together? That doesn't answer the question. help.prusa3d.com, maybe? All right, I already need some help from the audience. How do I get the instructions? I gotta look this up. MMU3 in assembly. Okay, here we go. I got the PRUSA website now. All right, so introduction, we don't need that. Let's just start. Oh, no, MMU2S, that's not what I want. I guess I'll start with the introduction, fine. Okay. Oh no. Idler body assembly. Here we go. All right. Let's do this. The printed book should have instructions. No, I think this just has instructions on how to use it. It doesn't have assembly instructions. But it does have stickers, so that's pretty nice. All right, time to get this thing put together. Okay, I got the idler. I mean, there's lots of small parts here too. If I knew how many parts this was, I might not have undertaken this, but we're in it now, so I have to put it together. So live stream, free content, sure, let's do it. Okay, we've got the idler here. Looks good. Put 6 bearings and 5 shafts. All right. Here's the idler stuff. I want you guys to have a great view of all this manual assembly labor. So if you can't see something, just let me know. Okay, there we go. You got front row seats to my hands. Okay, here's the, get those tools out of the way. All right. Wow, it's got blades in here too. I guess these are for cutting the filament, maybe? Let's get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, we got 6 of those. Now we need 5 of these. All right, and we'll take some bets. How long do you think this is going to take me to put together? Yeah, Mouse is exactly right. We take this path not because it was easy, but because we thought it was easy. I definitely thought this would be easier than this, but sometimes you just need a little motivation to do something awesome. So, you know what, now that I have this, let's just go with it. I'm pretty sure I just poke these in, and I will get some sort of tool to poke. Now I'm hoping this accessory kit from the MK4 should have all the tools that I need. That would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? Okay. Now, cool. The desk seems a bit small for that. Nah, the desk is fine. I mean, how big is the MMU? It's not that big, right? Oh. Okay. This is pretty nice, though. This assembly process does seem pretty satisfying. These perfect press fits and all that. I'm only going to half read the instructions and just kind of assume I know what I'm doing for the other half. You seeing how this works? You just push these pins in, and there you go. We got all of our bearings. Then I guess one more goes on this side. Cool. All right, next steps. I'm already multiple steps ahead. I'm a pro. Okay, time for coupler parts preparation. All right, so I need this guy. And 4 screws, 2 tiny little grub screws. Okay, I will find them. And I will make them pay. Fasteners. All right, look at all these fasteners. It's fascinating. Fortunately, they stuck with just a couple common sizes, so I'm not going to have to dig through a bunch of stuff. All right, so we need the M4x5 grub screws. My grub screws are notably a different color than what's on the instructions, but that won't confuse me too much. All right, 2 of those, and 4 M3x10s. Da-da-dum. All right, we've got more stuff here. So next, we want to put our little grubby screws in here. All right, one in there. And one on the other side. Ta-da. All right. So, that step is done. Time to put this on here. And I want it aligned such that our little grubby screws are pointing in between these 2 holes. Grubby screw is pointing in between those 2 holes. I'm a big proponent of threading directly into plastic. And no, this is not sarcasm. It's actually the best way to do it most of the time. Because plastic is plenty strong. You can thread into it. And I haven't had really that many failures using screws this way. So, as some of you may know, I gave away a bunch of printers last week. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago at this point. It was like a week and a half. And basically, I gave away all the printers I don't use anymore. And a couple of the printers that I still use. Let's take a look over here. We just had our prints finish up. These are more MMU parts, so we'll harvest these. Okay. And we'll start up some other stuff. Oh wait, so I installed new firmware on this thing, and apparently the touch screen is an option now. User interface. Touch. Let's turn touch on. All right, now the touch screen's active. Okay. Boop. Oh, this is very nice. Okay. What do you know? Okay, let's do buffer 2. Buffer 1, I already printed that. Buffer 2 needs several times, so we'll just keep printing those out. Cool. Touchscreen works. Yeah, touchscreen. Okay, so I've got these extra parts now. I guess I'll just put them down there. I'll grab them when I need them. Okay. Also, yeah, you got some MK4s? Nice, OMG Frankie. So, yeah, I like this MK4. It's not getting along with the Ender 3 quite so much because this guy's shaking the table too much. So it's causing all the filament to fall out of the spool because, yeah, it's just shaking this table because this thing's massive and very furiously shaking everything. So that's kind of annoying. So I'm going to untangle this. Gotta spin it the other way. Here goes. Untangling away. Maybe I could get like a proper streaming setup in here instead of just using my phone. Okay. But I mean, look how this thing is. This is impressive. Now, note, okay, yeah. Let me tell you about my printer purge. So I had about 20 printers at my old office, and I really needed to downsize because office space is a lot more expensive where I moved, so I couldn't afford like a giant space like I could last time. But this time, I really narrowed it down. The only printers that I brought with me are this, because obviously that's important, and that's going to be like a big part of my channel for the next couple of months. This guy, because that's been the printer that I've been using the most, and PRUSA does long-term support for their products, so I figure that's something that I can, keep in use for a long time. And this one, not because it's my favorite, but just because Bondtech is sending me an upgrade kit for it. So it will come with a new extruder, and I've got a new hot end for it from MicroSwiss. So I'm curious to see how good I can make this printer just by putting some upgrades on it. Does Nathan have a window in the new office to cover the sideways? Oh, yeah. No, I just have my monitor set up normal style. But I could get a big TV to cover this up, I guess. Maybe I'll try that out. I'll see how much monitors or TVs cost nowadays. I mean, nowadays you can get a really big TV for not a lot of money. Like, I remember when I bought my last TV, it was like $500 or $600 to get a 50-inch TV. Now 50-inch TVs cost like $200. And oh yeah, Tungsten Raider, thank you for bringing that up. Yes, I'm going to be going to Open Sauce this year. So I'm actually going to be bringing this with me to Open Sauce because Creality was like, if you bring that, we'll pay to ship it. So I'm like, okay, sure. And honestly, I'm not interested in keeping this machine just because it's too loud for my office. Like I'm using my mic here, so I don't know if you can tell, but it makes quite a bit of noise, especially when it's doing fast travel moves. So yeah, basically the PRUSA is quiet enough that you can't hear it from outside. This one is just way too fast and big and loud. So yeah, I'm gonna bring it to Open Sauce, and it's just got a one-way ticket. So I'm not bringing it home. I'm gonna figure out someone to give it to when I'm out there. Let the begathon commence. Anyways, yeah, so Tungsten Raider, you going to Open Sauce as well? I'm gonna be bringing this printer, and I'll just have some stuff printing with it. And then I'm also going to bring I'm gonna bring some prints off of this thing. So I need to get this working again and make a couple sample prints to bring with me to Open Sauce. For those of you who don't know, that's like my new massive printer project that I'm working on. But we're doing more fun stuff down here. I don't know if it's more fun, but it's we've got little things going on a desk. So let's continue with the assembly before I get too sidetracked and I lose some things. The one other printer that I did want to bring with me, but I didn't have room for it, was the FlashForge Adventure 5M Pro, just because that machine is it's so quiet that I think it would really fit in here in this office space. But I just really had to downsize. But that printer went to a good home. All the printers that I gave away or sold at extreme discount went to people who could really use them. So yeah. Oh yeah, I could bring the A1. No, for those of you who don't know, OMG Frankie is the generous donor who gave me the A1. It was very kind of him to send me that A1. I would have loved to have used the machine and plastered affiliate links all over the place with it, but unfortunately Frankie gave me instructions to dispatch the printer. Hey, Dr. Galvani Philho, MD. Ooh, we got a MD in the chat. What is your specialty, if you don't mind sharing? I mean, you've got your full doctor name there, so I'm sure it can't be too private. Radiologist, all right. So you're probably watching this while you're reviewing charts. Just make sure you don't miss those tumors and stuff. That's cool. All right. Yes, I am building a robot, the filament changing robot. Yeah, Frankie, I'm glad to do my part to help resolve your issues with Bamboo Lab customer service. All right, so let's tighten these up. Yeah, the other thing I really like about PRUSA, and one of the reasons why I'm keeping this printer, they actually sent this printer over to me for review. You know, I get basically all my printers sent over to me for review, so that's not that big of a deal to me. But when I was working professionally, I bought a couple MK3s for my lab, and they worked really well. But if I ever had any issues, I talked to support, and support immediately got back to me and sent me new parts out if I needed them. So that's like pretty huge if you're buying something for a business, you need that professional customer support. And yeah, while I'm talking, I'll try and point the camera up at me. So, yeah, so, I mean, I get printers from all these companies all the time, and they're always like, oh yeah, if anything breaks, let us know, and we'll send it out to you right away to fix it. But the thing is I was a customer when I bought my first PRUSA. You know, on behalf of my company, I had them ordered. But they treated me better than most companies do as a YouTuber. So, like, just like the customer service is excellent, is what I'm trying to say there. A lot of companies, Creality included, you know, I do like my Creality stuff. But if you have issues, I get my things resolved quickly. But I know that people who like might just be normal customers might not get the same level of customer support. So yeah, and that kind of two-tier system exists with all people doing reviews. They always want to treat us a little bit better than their normal customers. But the PRUSA stuff, they tend to treat all their customers well. So, you know, A+ on customer service there. So the one thing that they don't do well is they don't assemble the MMU for me, so I have to do it, which is a little unfortunate, but I think we're going to be able to handle it. So, cool. This is kind of interesting. So, they have pretty good instructions on what to do. They even have a check. So, like traditionally in a manufacturing environment, you might have someone else sign off on your work. So like, you know, you would do steps 1 through 9 and then hand it to someone else and they'll look and make sure that everything is done correctly. I mean, since you're just one person putting this together usually, I'm having to do the check myself, but it's good to have those check steps in there to make sure people aren't getting ahead of themselves. Okay, next step, we got the idler body. So we're gonna need 5 M3x10 screws. So yeah, this is just gonna be a casual build vlog, I guess. And I'll throw in little tidbits about 3D printing and my experience with different companies, I guess. And little teasers of my future content. So thanks everyone for watching. We're gonna keep the show going, have some fun stuff. Just bought my SV06 because it was a cheap PRUSA clone. Yeah, SV06 is pretty good. My video title, and I stand by my assessment, is it's half the quality for 1/3 the cost. So yeah. Mine had a couple issues that I needed to resolve to get everything working, but once it was working, it produced pretty good print quality. I mean, they're basing it off of a pretty good design, but doing some like manufacturability improvements to make it even cheaper. So I don't know, I like what Soval's doing, and their new SV08 is pretty cool too. All right, square nut. I need to figure out how to deal with sneezes on the live streams. I need like a mute button or something. Yeah, SV08 is pretty great. It's it should be moddable. The SV08 is all open source, and you know people are going to be able to get in there and redesign things on it. So I think it's going to be a great printer for the modders. I got rid of mine because again, I'm pretty limited on space here, and I just want to strip down to the bare essentials. So, all right, we got all of our parts here. We have the printed part. Let me grab the motor as well. I think this is the motor. So, we got them. This one says idler. Silicone stopper installation. That goes right here. Now if I had a PRUSA XL, I could just print a little TPU stopper in place here. but I have to install this the old-fashioned way, like a caveman. Okay, well this isn't feeding, and it says if it doesn't feed, try cleaning it with an Allen key. Trying again. Yeah, there we go. Good old instruction manual telling me how to do things, giving me little helpful tips. That's great. Okay. Seated properly. Idler installation time. So we just take this chunk that we assembled earlier and set it in here. Very nice. Pretty sure that's right. Okay. And then I assume I just take this and put it in over here. And then put one of these in over here. I'll verify. I don't want to get too crazy here. Yeah. Really, this is just like a massive Lego kit for adults. The complexity is, I mean, it's really complex because it's all these electromechanical parts and printed parts. But I think it's manageable so far with these instructions. They walk me through everything. So I would think this is so easy even a child could do it. Just, you know, not too young of a child, but someone that's young and childish or childlike, they could probably handle this. Okay, that's all good. Next step is to slide a little square nut in over here. Now PRUSA makes pretty good use of these little square nuts. They're different than hex nuts because they're squares instead of hexagonal. And the whole purpose of them is that they bite into the plastic a little bit better. So if you have a hexagonal nut, you know, just like a normal hardware store hexagonal nut like this, like these nuts, they don't do a very good job of resisting a torsion. Like if you're twisting a screw, it's really easy for them to slip. But these square nuts are harder to slip. Yeah, these nuts. These nuts, those nuts, square nuts, hex nuts, brass nuts, all the nuts. Okay. Okay, so we got our little square nut seated in there. And then they want you to poke it in a little bit. Probably bottom it out in the slot there. And that lines up perfectly. So now you can see through the center of the nut through that little hole. All right. Now we'll take our idler shaft motor thingy. And I guess they want the flat facing where the wire comes out. And then I want, okay, I want this side up, like this. And then insert it like this. Now I would really like to see, the other thing that I'm curious about with this MMU is if it's going to be open and compatible with other printers. Because I happen to have a printer over here that could really use an automated way to change out spools. My short-term solution is to just get some giant spools, but long-term it would be nice to have a multi-material filament change-out unit of some sort. Okay, so the motor is installed. Now I'm just going to screw these in. So when you buy this thing, there's a couple options. Maybe I can show you. I'll do it in a new tab here. Let's go to PRUSA.com. MMU3. Where's MMU3? Ah. Huh. Accessories? Is it considered an accessory? I don't remember how I bought this now. Okay. It's gotta be around here somewhere. MMU3, okay, right here. I got the upgrade kit. No, I got the full upgrade kit for MK4. So yeah, I got this one. There's an option to get the printed parts. It's an extra $30 to get all the parts printed. It's about 24 hours of printing to get all your parts made, which is, honestly, it's not that big of a deal. But if I was building a lot of these, I'd probably just want the parts made so I can just get straight to assembling. Okay. And what else? Yeah, we'll have to see how this turns out. I'm pretty excited about it. Yeah, okay. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Looks like loading and unloading the MMU is a pain. We'll see about that. I'll have some impressions once I finish putting this together. So 3D Medic Vince, you have an MMU3. Now they didn't start shipping until pretty recently, and I was able to get mine pretty quickly. So there wasn't a big wait list for when I bought mine. I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks from ordering to order fulfillment, so they're in stock now pretty much. Oh yeah, now they're in stock, it says on the website, so I guess it's not even a matter of opinion. All right, we'll get these tightened on there. And I'll get these 4 screws attached. The other thing that I like about these PRUSA kits, whether it's the base printer, like if you're assembling an entire 3D printer, or one of these upgrade kits, is you learn a lot of really great tips on how to improve printability on your objects. So like the designers at PRUSA have been, designing parts for 3D printing for a long time. So you see a lot of neat little tricks like this. I feed these screws in through what is essentially a, it's almost like a woodworking type of thing where you have hidden fasteners inside of there. And that's completely printable. Like it's printable without any supports. So it gives you a lot of good ideas of how to design things for 3D printing. So just, putting these together, it's almost like a class in and of itself. So fun stuff here. Yeah, and since I was only going to be keeping a couple of printers, one of which I knew was going to be the MK4, I decided I want to have the most high-value printers in my collection as possible. Oh, pocket holes. There you go. Yeah. So JJ's in the chat. Good to see. JJ's been helping to design some stuff to print on my giant printer. So I printed out a big vase for him before I moved. So hopefully we'll come up with some even more cool stuff to show off there. All right, very satisfying mechanism here. Dun-dun-dun. That's all done. Cool. So let's go back to our instructions. Idler motor assembly. I already got ahead of myself here. Yeah. I'm just going to torque down on these screws one more time. Just to make sure they're tight enough. Man, this Ender 3 V3 Plus is really going ham back here in the background. I mean, it's fast, large build volume. Seems like a pretty good printer, so I'll have my full impressions on it in a couple days. I'm printing with it over the weekend just because it is kind of loud and I don't like making a lot of noise in the space that I'm at. So we'll get it all sorted out and have my impressions, and then I'm going to take it with me to open source and get rid of it. So that's my new motto, is like I'm trying not to hold on to printers for too long because I find that I just hoard them and don't get a lot of use out of them. And you know, I should be getting rid of them or giving them to someone who can get more use out of them. So that's going to be something I'm going to be doing more in the future. Okay. So we've got our idler motor thingy here. Yeah, and it's saying to kind of align things, which I've already done. Rotate the idler so the second, yeah. Very small gap on the left side, yep. Yeah, I think I need to move it over a little bit more even, so I'll get to that. It's probably pretty forgiving in terms of alignment, but I just want to make sure it's as aligned as possible. Okay, yeah, this is fine. All right, we'll get that all sorted out. Then we'll move to the next step. Anyone in the San Francisco area, you should consider going to Open Sauce. I went last year and it was a lot of fun. And I'll be there this year. So if you are able to come to the show, you can come say hi. Oh, there's comments. Wow. The assembly website has a comments section. This is great. Holy cow, guys. Really ensure a very small gap. Ever heard of a spacer? Maybe you could print one for us to use to help us ensure proper spacing. At least give us a photo of what it looks like, for crying out loud. Okay, Trent Robertson. David B is like, no, just follow the instructions, you'll be fine. Yeah. Well, in this case, I guess the customer isn't always right. From what I can tell, the design should be pretty forgiving of misalignment. So, I don't know, maybe the instructions are fine. I'm taking David B's side from the PRUSA support, but we'll see. Okay. But maybe it's just because I'm kind of mechanically inclined, I can tell what proper alignment looks like. So yeah, I don't know, maybe they do need a little help. In any case, we're going to move to the next step because I'm pretty sure I did it fine. All right. Selector assembly. Looks like the selector's right here. Okay. So let's get all the parts. We need a magnet. 10 by 6 by 2 magnet. All right. There's only one magnet that I can see. I assume this is it. It doesn't say 10 by 6 by 2. I'm just going to assume that this is it. I don't see another magnet, so yeah, we're going to go with this as being the magnet. It'd be nice if they said like 10 by 6 by 2 or something on here, but it's just got like a model number. I don't know, are things reversed for you guys? Because I see a mirrored version of what's on the screen to help dumb streamers like me understand what's going on. Okay. We need a magnet and we need one of the ferromagnetic steel balls. So let's find them balls. Here it is. There's just one ball. Oh, there's two balls. What do you know? What a convenient number of balls to have. All right, so we got one ball. I will slide the magnet in, and when I slide it in, I'm going to make sure it's going in the right hole. So this is very interesting. The magnet won't fit in a normal. No. Yeah, the magnet just barely won't fit in the normal square nut holes, which is a good piece of idiot proofing. It slots right in over here, which is where it's supposed to go. It'd be nice if it was like a press fit, but it just kind of slides in there. Okay, and then the ball magnet, I guess, goes in right here. And that retains itself. I can pop it out if I need to, but that should hold both the magnet and the ball roughly in place. It's not really held in position, so we'll just kind of keep our eye on it for now. All right, now we need the trapezoid nut, a square nut, and a hex nut, as well as two M3 by 10s. Okay. I don't know why they're giving, like, this is one step with 3 different types of nuts. Hopefully I won't get confused. All right. That'd be really cool if there was like a Pez dispenser that you could load all of these up into and just go like, and just shoot out one nut at a time. I guess you could call it a nut dispenser. But I guess plastic bags work fine for now. Okay, so we're going to okay. This picture confuses me. I'm not sure what he's doing there. Insert the M3 nut into the marked opening. I don't have a bolt that long, so I'm not sure why they're showing a long bolt in this picture, but that's fine. I think they mean, oh, okay. They want me to use one of these bolts as a handle. Okay, we'll give it a try. Here's one of the long bolts. I'm going to put the hex nut in there and then push it in right here against the magnet. Okay. That was pretty easy. All right, and then I unscrew it and it's in place inside of there. Not sure if you can see that, but yeah, there's a bunch of stuff getting loaded in here. The pictures are pretty good at showing what I need to do. Then I need a square nut that goes... Whoa, that thing's going fast. Okay. And I need a square nut that goes up here. So with those square nuts, you're going to want to push them in and then bottom them out using an Allen key. Now we have the Delrin trapezoidal nut, which is the black one. It's going to be around here somewhere. What if they forgot it in the kit? I doubt that happened. I doubt that would happen. But there's a 0.001% chance that they forgot it. In which case it would be very difficult to figure that out. Because I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. I have this Pinda probe. But I need that black... Oh! I know where it is. I saw it before. Let me find it. I know where it is. Fear not. It is attached to one of the motors. I saw it. Yes. I think it's this one. I don't know if they tell you that it's this one that's attached to the motor, but this is the only thing that would make sense to me. And also, having it attached to the motor will protect it during shipping, because you don't want these nuts to get damaged. Okay, so this goes right here. It's not super complicated. And just slightly tighten up the bolts. It says not to over tighten them or anything, because we'll tighten them up later. Okay. All right, next up we need these two brass sleeves. I saw them earlier, so yeah, here we go. Two brass sleeves, two square nuts, and two M3x10 screws. That's easy enough, okay. Two brass thingies. These kind of look like cartridge housings. Cartridges for American stuff. Okay, so we got that. Hold on, this bag's all dilapidated. All right, there we go. Two square nuts. Yep, that's right, TNX. I won't repeat that for camera, but you're absolutely right. That is an apt description of what's going on here. Two M3x10s. And sorry if you're not able to see everything that's going on. I'll point the camera down a little. Anything interesting going on in the chat? OMG Frankie, yes, that is exactly what it is. Oh, a print finished? Oh yeah, cool. All right, let's take a look. Might as well break up the monotony of MMU assembly. So here's our spool holder. Decent bed adhesion. They've got tree supports up here. All right. I guess that's how that's supposed to go. And then take a look at this. I think this goes up top. So, oh crap, I don't want to damage the belts. This is, hold on. I don't know how this goes on. Maybe, oh no, over here, and then it slides on. Okay, okay. There we go. So actually one complaint I have about this machine is the cable. This stuff being off to the side is kind of annoying. So I do prefer having the spool mounted up top. But then you're gonna have to like do something with this filament runout detection sensor. So I'll figure it out. But yeah, I just prefer not to be wasting the space over on the right side, just because I'm already limited on space as is. It would be nice if they had, what I might actually do is just drill and tap 2 holes up here to attach the spool holder like up here. Yeah, because yeah, it's just taking up extra space down here, and this filament runout detection sensor is kind of in a funny spot. So I'll talk about that in the full review. Our PRUSA's working diligently over here. Now that the table's done being shaken, it can work out the kinks in this filament line. Ah, crap. These all got tangled up because of the table shaking. It'll be fine. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so yeah, Creality product that's not awful, I guess. It's not good at a speed benchy though. I did the speed benchy and it looked atrocious. It was a 14-minute speed benchy, so yeah, you know, that's impressively fast, but I think it would probably, like if you wanted to have a high quality benchy at the end, you'd probably want to slow it down to maybe an 18 to 20-minute speed benchy. Like they were just pushing it too fast. And they've got massive motors on here. Like a lot of cool stuff went into the design of this machine. It's just something that big and heavy is inherently just not going to be as fast as a smaller, lighter machine. Like the Ender 3 V3 non-plus edition, I kind of preferred that one for doing small print jobs. This one is going to be good for printing out large objects like this. So yeah, we'll go over all of my thoughts in detail in a video in a couple days. I'm going to turn that down, turn that off, and resume the PRUSA stuff. Okay. It is 89 degrees in here. I'm getting cooked by my printers. I'll leave that there so you can see a live reading of how hot it's getting. And also you can see the humidity, so you can see how sweaty I am. The air quality is excellent in here thanks to my giant filter, so cool. Toasty but good for layer adhesion. Yes, this is my heated enclosure. I'm inside of it. Okay, so next steps. Let's do it. I have all the parts. Just have to install them into this selector. So I guess it wants me to insert them from the other side. I will respect the instructions. Okay, are these supposed to, oh, these aren't supposed to go all the way in, I guess? No, you're supposed to push down and, okay. Well, I don't want to mess up this table surface because this is a nice table. I have a thing for pressing these brass things into the part. I just have to find it. I have just the thing. Okay, forget it. I will just use the instruction manual or something. Here's the instruction manual. No, I have the thing. I have to find it. I'll just use a stepper motor. Okay. So, go like this and press them in. This is my least favorite step so far. It's fine. Okay. Our little magnetic ball fell out, but we just put that back in. Looks good to me. They're all flush. That's cool stuff. Okay. Selector assembly. We gotta push these square nuts in up here. All right. And then, okay. And then we put these two in here? No. No, that's not right. Huh? I'm getting confused now. Okay, so this is the part. What is this brass piece now? Where did this brass piece... Oh, okay, sorry. Well, that's it. This, I gotta add this. Acha. There we go. This plastic piece, if they were different colors, I'd be able to differentiate them a little bit better. But I was able to figure it out. And this is just a pre-assembled part from the PRUSA factory. I guess this is just a big heat press insert because that's an important joint or something. So we'll go ahead and put that together. Okay, next, I'm going to tighten those down just a little bit more, just because I can. But yeah, these are also these little tricks you can learn from putting this stuff together. It's like, who would have thought to assemble two pieces like that, unless you'd seen something like this before. So yeah, I like the learning experience of putting these together. All right, so now we're going to put the Super Pinda probe. Finda. Oh, it's the Finda, not the Pinda. So it's the Finda. All right, let's get our Finda then. We're finna install this. Okay, so it needs this. One square nut. And one M3 by 10. For those of you who don't know, if you're ever designing something and you need to specify a nut or a bolt to put something together, just use an M3 by 10. The world would be a better place if everything was M3 by 10s. Okay. So we just need one of each and this probe. Your sensor will look slightly different if you're reusing the older Finda sensor. Okay, that doesn't apply to me. So we're gonna put our nut in here. Oh, one thing I would appreciate about these instructions is if they just had me put all the nuts in it at the beginning. Like if I just stuffed all of these holes with square nuts up front, I think that would save some time. I can see why they want to split it up, but I personally think it would be a little bit faster if I just loaded them all in the first place. Okay, and then this goes in here. And I guess adjust the position of the sensor so that it ends flush with the top inner surface of the D-shaped opening. Okay, so yeah, you can see in here, there's our Finda probe. You want to stop right there so that it's, stop right there so it's flush. Then lock it in place. With this M3x10 bolt. And fortunately, this looks like something that I can adjust later, so get it close, and if you're off a little bit, it's not a big deal. All right, and then we will crank down on this a little bit. Hopefully that doesn't break anything, but yeah, it's locked in position now. Next step, selector assembly, cutter parts preparation. Okay, we got to be careful now. We got some razor blades. We got blades, MMU2S, blades, MMU2S. I think this is, let's see. Yeah, I think we have two separate boxes. So this is interesting. They're just using like those serrated razor blades and they're breaking them into little chunks. And then that's what you're using for this assembly. All right, we got those. Then we need that tiny printed part. I think this is it. This looks like the part. Not 100% sure, but it's either this piece or something that looks very similar to it. I'm just going to assume that it's this. It has slightly different patterns here, so that's why I'm a little confused. This one has like 2 little circle dots. This one has 4. Maybe that's their versioning system, is they put little notes, like hidden little features on there that tell you what version it is. Also, they have a little trick here to get these holes to print without any support material by doing successive bridging in different directions, and then it gets closed up into a hole. Anyways, that's to say that these models are very well optimized for 3D printing. All right, because PRUSA likes to print out all their stuff, so it makes sense to spend a lot of time optimizing your models to be printable. All right, so let's see what we do here. All right, we are going to feed one nut in over here. All right, and then we put the razor blades in. So we want to make this chevron shape. blade 1. Blade 2. And yeah, it looks like they spent a lot of time fine-tuning this model so these blades just kind of snap in. So that's good, I guess. We have version B. And then we're going to put this over the top. And it even has like little indentations printed on here to make sure that they're gripping onto the blades themselves instead of just clamping onto the plastic body. All right, there we go. And we're going to put our M3x10 screw in there. Cover the blades with the blade holder. Fix the blade holder in place. Tighten it up fully. Okay, let's fully tighten that up. Da, da, da. All right, now we've got a little bladey thing. Hooray. All right, next step. I want to read some of the comments first, though. My blade sat nicely, but fell out on first use. Now trying to figure out how to disassemble that part and correct. Others for MMU3 have suggested using glue or not putting the blades in at all. Doesn't seem to be a very reliable component. Dr. Maker is very upset. I would also agree with the comments here. You should explicitly mention that it will probably not sit flush, and that's okay as long as it's tight enough to hold the blades in place. Okay. I have version B. There's a small gap between the tips of the blades, which I can see on mine as well. Is this a problem? I don't know. We can load more comments if we want. Yeah. I'm not going to worry about it. I mean, I just assume that any type of well-designed thing should work regardless of if you slightly mess it up. So I'm just going to put it together, and if it doesn't work, then I'll deal with it later. Okay, pulley body parts preparation. Here's the puller body. Ta-da! We need 3 bearings, which will be the remainder of our bearings. I'll pull those out. Anything interesting going on in chat? Any thoughts on open sauce? Or the Ender 3 V3 Plus going on over there? Or this MMU3? Everything's 3 right now. Pulley body, all right. We'll seat those bearings inside of there. All right, and the last one goes up here, I think. Yep, clicks in there nicely. How many do you need for the engine? Perhaps somewhere around 500. How many M3s would I need to keep my car wheel attached? Probably not as many as, I mean, yeah, you might need a lot. Okay, fine. You can use larger bolts if you know that it's necessary. Okay, let's see. All right, that was easy. I'm just going to set this aside. I'm pretty sure that's done. Next up, pulley body parts preparation. Let's get those body parts. We're going to get that body part, and we're going to put nuts in it. A total of 4 nuts of the square variety. All right, 4 square nuts. I think this is the wrong thing. We'll find out. As this build is progressing, I'm having less and less clutter on my desk. So this is nice. All right, I think this... No, it's got to be this. I'm just confused where those nuts are going. Oh, okay, okay. The nuts aren't even going in this thing. It's going in the other thing. Okay. So 4 of those. 4 M3x10s. And 4 PTFE tubes. Now, personally, I would like it if these PTFE tubes were in their own little bag, but I understand. Not everything gets to be exactly how I want it. Got 4 of those. Now I need those M3x10s. Oh, I need 5 PTFE tubes. So I got 1 more to pull out of the bag. All right. So let's get this installed. I have to put the nuts in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to push them to the bottom. And then I have these PTFE tubes to install. Noting that the chamfer should be facing out. So these PTFE tubes have a little chamfer on them. That needs to be facing out. So we'll install them all that way. Stream down for YouTube hating Canada. Oh no. What happened, Frankie? Is the stream not working over in Canada anymore? We'll have to have some people verify your issue there. I'll get the tech support team on it right away. All right. Attach the front PTFE holder onto the PTFE tubes. Okay. That's this thing. I put it on like this. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That sounds like a Canada issue. I have the finest internet connection in the world here, so if there's any issues, I'm definitely blaming Canada. Maybe you can watch Nero instead. You need to watch your fellow Canadians. Okay. What do you mean it's not the finest? That's a pretty good internet connection. You want to throw down right now? Hold on. Hold on. Let me look up. Look at that. Yeah. Look at that internet speed. Boom. Look at that upload speed. You've never seen upload speeds like that before. Yeah, blame Canada. Yeah, sorry for it being fuzzy. This is what happens when I try to zoom on the front-facing iPhone camera. So yeah, I got pretty good internet here, if I do say so myself. 10 milliseconds lag, so I can do some gaming here too. All right, but anyways, let's get back to the instructions. I'm getting a little sidetracked here. So I need to put these little guys in. All 4 of them. I like Nero's content. Nothing wrong with a little Nero content. I don't really watch his streams though, just because it takes up too much time. I mean, it's like my streams where they don't really go anywhere. You watch for like several hours and it's like, wow, he finally built it. Wow. I'm sure someone will be impressed. All right, let's get that installed. So, I guess Vince, I should stream on Twitch. It's a lot nicer to use than YouTube, at least to the viewer. Interesting. Oh yeah, Twitch has a nice chat system. Yeah, maybe I'll try out Twitch sometime. I just am lazy and I like having one platform to use for everything. Apparently TikTok's the place to be, but I don't know. All right, so we've got this set up. Oh, Frankie, you're not keeping it PG? Oh no. Oh no, Frankie, we're gonna have to delete that comment. Next time I'm gonna have to put you in timeout, Mr. Frankie. All right, so let's get to it. All right, so that's all put together. I think we're going on to the next step. All right, next step, collet holder parts preparation. This appears to be the collet holder. It's got an arrow on it, so I know which direction to install it. 2 standard M3 nuts. 2 M3x10 screws. And 5 collets. I mean, to make all of this stuff and have it be reliable out of 3D printed parts is pretty impressive. And I hope it ends up being reliable because this is a lot of work to put together, and I'm hoping that I just put it together once and get to use it. Or if there's any wear components, hopefully they're pretty easy to replace. All right, now we're doing this part of the assembly. So it looks like I just insert all of these collets into here. Oh crap, I already broke one. That's fine. We're gonna ignore that. Pretend that didn't happen. Okay, yeah, we're really gonna pretend that didn't happen because I'll at least put it in the middle. I'll put the one that I possibly damaged directly in the middle, so that way we know if I have issues later that it's that one. So that one's right in the middle. Okay. Did you know Cirque du Soleil is Canadian? Fun fact about Canadians, they like to jump around in circus tents. All right. Okay, those are all installed. Now I need to use our trusty long bolt here to install some more stuff. I'm going to put both of the nuts on at the same time. So this is our quote-unquote installation tool. So yeah, that just gets installed down here. Okay. So we just kind of mash it in place, unscrew it. One installed. Next one, just kind of mash it in place. Unscrew it. All right. I don't know why square nuts won't work for this part, but they specify the other type of nuts here, so that's what we're going to do. All right, so those are installed. Now I guess this goes right here. Yep, with the arrow facing up. I want you guys to see the instructions so you can see I'm not just making this up. All right, arrow facing up. And also, on the back side of this part, they have hidden information. This is R4, revision 4. So they've got like part versioning integrated onto the printed part, which is pretty cool. Okay, so there we go. We'll get our two M3x10s. Ta-da! I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's a lot quieter with just that PRUSA running in the background. The that Ender 3 V3 Plus is it's quite fast, but it's also quite loud. So I'm glad that it's not running anymore. Okay, so there we go. Done. Yep. That's pretty straightforward. I'm just going to put a little extra torque on these. All right, and then I need the pulley motor. That's this guy right here. And I need to get 5. All right. Hold on, everyone. Hold on. I got to get 5 of these things. Okay, over here. Holy cow. How long does this take to do? I mean, I thought I'd be done by now. Let's see, we're at 94 minutes on the stream, so I guess that's not too bad. All right, 5 of those, 1 square nut, and 3 M3x10s. Oh, you know what else would be nice is one of these, one of those little plastic hard cases with all the tools in it. I give that a little plastic clamshell with all the fasteners so I don't have to mess around with all these nut bags. That'd be nice. Canada isn't America, isn't it? Yeah, I guess so. Should I buy an enraged rabbit carrot feeder for my SB08 or wait for the co-print setup? I have no idea. I interviewed the guys at co-print at FormNext, but I had some people commenting saying they haven't got their Kickstarter stuff yet. So, you know, that's the deal with Kickstarter stuff. It's like you never know what's going to turn out or when you're going to get your stuff. So, yeah. So, I don't know. I would probably do the enraged rabbit carrot feeder because that'll be open source and they've got more testing and stuff. There's also a project called the Trad Rack. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. But it's like the Annex Engineering version of the enraged rabbit carrot feeder. Okay, so I just have to put all 5 of these in place. Da, 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 da. It's taking a moderate amount of time. We'll get there eventually, though. Okay. We got that. Oh, yeah. The other thing is, yeah, so the MK4, what was it? I'm going to turn the time lapse over to this thing. Might as well get some other footage while we're at it. Okay, yeah, so what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the MK4. They just announced like some kind of phase cancellation or something on the XL to make it a lot quieter. So I'm hoping they implement it on the MK4 as well, because that would be absolutely awesome. I do like some quiet printers. Also, their implementation of input shaper is a little weird on the PRUSA MK4, but that's a topic for another day. Like, it doesn't actually have an accelerometer to measure things. I know Bamboo Lab uses a piezoelectric sensor that's not an accelerometer either to do some input shaping for their beds. So, I mean, there's a lot of like technology going on behind the scenes making these printers better that, I don't know, we don't fully understand. Or I don't fully understand, at least. Okay, let's get this put together, though. Slide the pulleys onto the shaft. Ensure the grooved part of the pulley is on the motor side. Yep. Yeah, so I'm just going to leave these kind of loose for now. And I suppose we'll do fine-tuning on the position of all these little slidey bits later. This is like a bunch of extruder teeth for all the different colors. Okay, so we're going to get our hex, or our square nut. Look at it like this and put it in right over here. Push that in all the way. Then get our motor with the wire sticking out the back. That made a satisfying noise. All right, then I guess I will get all these screws put in place here. Here we go. We got more pocket holes. I'm not a huge fan of doing these pocket holes, but I guess it works, so I won't complain too much. I will complain though. I just won't complain too much. Alright, come on. Come on. Okay. There we go. Alright, then we gotta get these. This operation is somewhat blind. Oh crap, I don't want to cross thread these. So I'm going to tighten the one up front first. I don't know. There's got to be a better way. Oh no, now that's getting cross-threaded. Now I've done it. Okay, I'll deal with that one last. Let's see if this one will go in without getting cross-threaded. Well, actually, I'm gonna, before I get in too deep here, I'm just gonna take this off. I need to get the one that's cross-threaded on properly first before I move on, so. There's no point in tightening the other ones until that one's behaving. Shoot. Oh no. I'll be able to fix it. Let me just take this out. I might need to just make sure these are threading okay. Yeah, so these blind holes, I'm really not a big fan of them for this type of reason. Like, when you're installing fasteners, you want to be able to just have direct access to them. I'll get it eventually. Here goes attempt number 2. Okay, so we'll have it this way. Motor facing towards the back. Maybe by standing it up like this, I'll have better luck. Even like a really long Allen wrench that pokes all the way through this assembly would be better than this, I think. Oh no. All right, this is the first part of this process that I'm not happy with. Let's see if there's comments. I want to see the comments. It doesn't tighten to the end. Remember using a temporary M3. Okay. Then the other person saying this square nut came out. Okay, which it fell out on mine, so good thing I read the comments there. So apparently what they recommend doing is inserting the square nut, pushing it all the way in, and then using a temporary screw in here so that that square nut can't fall out. So now the square nut is trapped, so it won't fall out, but it allows me to proceed with this part of the build, which is a little frustrating, but we're gonna get it, all right? I've assembled worse things. It keeps wanting to bind up. M3 by 10 screws, yeah. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. All right, I got it. This is the trickiest part of the build so far. So hopefully there's nothing else like that, or maybe even, maybe just maybe they'll make this a little bit easier in future revisions. You would have to have a hex, like a really long Allen wrench that goes all the way through here to make that any easier. But I got it. It was a little tricky, but not too bad. Okay. All right, ta-da. All done. All right. All right, that's all looking good. Now time to get these, all of these in the right spot. I could just use this as an abacus for a while, but I want to get this working. So let's get it all assembled. I should read some guidance on how to do this. So insert the motor into the pulley. Attach the motor, just start it, oh my goodness. Make sure the screw is perfectly perpendicular to the motor while tightening. If it's hard to turn, release the screw fully and realign it. So yeah, this is, the instructions are talking about the part I was having an issue with. It was a little tricky, but I guess it wasn't that bad, so just be careful. Next up, I need to align these. I need to align all these things. I'm going to turn up the lights. You always want to have adequate lighting when you're doing these type of electronics assembly jobs. Especially when you're working with a black part like this, it absorbs a lot of the light. So you really want to be able to see what's going on here. Okay. One at a time. All right, and I'm just trying to get these well aligned. I'm sure there's room for error, but I just like getting everything just right. So I'm taking my time with it. And this seems like something that I should be able to address later if something's misaligned. These screws should be accessible. Okay. Ta-da. Somehow I really messed up that one. I don't know what I was doing. Okay. All right. Now I'm just going to go through and put that last little ounce-inch of torque on there. Being sure not to over-tighten these, because you definitely don't want to over-tighten grub screws. Now, if they wanted to, they could probably redesign this so that it doesn't use grub screws. There might be enough room here. And also this bearing at the end could use some positive retention. I think this bearing can come unseated a little bit at the end. Like if you look at it, it could come down a little bit. I think it's always going to be roughly in position though, so it shouldn't be an issue. Ah, okay. Ah, interesting. So they want you to use a piece of filament. This is why I should read the instructions. Okay, so I need to get a piece of filament. A perfectly straight piece of filament, no less. All right. I don't have any perfectly straight pieces of filament, which I guess is a bit of an issue. But I guess you can insert the filament. How is that? I think I did a pretty good job. So this filament that you get is supposed to be kind of like a visual gauge to help you space these out. I think I did pretty good except for on one of these, so I will fix that up. The filament didn't help me at all. I'm using references on this to kind of help me out. This step could be a little improved too. I mean, both of these steps, 2 in a row that are a little bit iffy in my book, but now I need to find my little Allen key that I misplaced. Hopefully this is just a little bump in the road and not every step after this is as challenging. Like the first steps I'm like, yeah, this is so easy, a child could do it, but now we're getting to the point where it's like, yeah, you're gonna need some adult supervision here. This is a little tricky. Okay. All right, and that's it. Those are all, we'll call it perfectly aligned. All right, selector parts preparation. Now we need this. We need our pre-assembled thingy-majigger here. And we need the 2 steel rods, as well as 3 M3x10s and 2 square nuts. All right. All right. Oh, 3. I got 3 and then I put 1 away. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, 2 nuts though. So how's everyone's weekend going? It's a glorious time for me to be streaming, because I know you guys aren't working, so if you didn't show up, you have no good excuse. All right, so next steps. Selector goes up here, like this. All right. Don't say read the instructions. Yes, that is the key. You have to read the instructions. Did Big Tree Tech tease an open source AMS unit? I have not seen whether or not that is a thing. If Big Tree Tech made something, that could be pretty interesting. I also saw there was an AliExpress listing for the MMU, but it was like $180 plus shipping. And then at that point, it's like, I don't want to spend 4 hours, 6 hours building something for it to not work because I bought the cheap knockoff version. So I was just like, you know what, let's just get the PRUSA one. At least if something doesn't work, I can get support with it. So that's what we're going with today. All right, we got our selector dealy bob. Everything's roughly lined up. So we'll insert 2 nuts. Okay. Then we'll insert, hold on, just like that. We'll insert these 2 steel rods. This is a tight fit. Okay, and they bottom out. Then at the other end. And I'll just press this all the way through. Alright, yeah, we were just pushing on plastic, so the wood table's fine. I gotta watch out, I don't want to damage this furniture. Okay, so that's all good. Push the shafts until they're inserted below the surface. Yep, that's all good. Oh, this one's floating around a little bit. I guess the stepper motor, when we put that in, will block that. So, yeah, we'll reinsert that nut. I'm going to put a little screw down there to hold that in place. And then selector time, selector stepper motor. So we're going to twist this to get it to install here. Let's see if I can back drive it. Yeah, there we go. And what direction do we need the motor? Yeah, wires sticking straight out the top. And I'll push this back to the other side. That'll give me some access to install our 3 M3x10 screws. All right. So 3D Medic Vince is the spoke up at about having one of these MMUs already. So, are there any useful hints, tips, or tricks I should know about once I get this finally working? Oh yeah, and Creality's coming out with their multicolor unit too, pretty soon. It's just basically an AMS clone. So they don't get any points for originality, but I don't know. We'll see how it works. I'll have it in for review hopefully. Okay, you have to update the firmware. I just updated the MK4 firmware like yesterday or something, very recently. Need plenty of desk space? Okay. Can I wall mount the filament? Because I've seen the default setup and it looks like it does take up a lot of space, but if I can like mount it on the wall or something, or come up with some clever way of getting it out of the way, that could be nice. Okay, so I have to take points off for these motors not being faced the same direction. they should both say PRUSA, PRUSA up top, but I think it's fine. Okay, you could feed it into the buffer. Okay. All right, so this is all set up. Got those screws installed. Oh, don't over tighten the screw in the corner. What? All right, it's saying not to over tighten the screw in the corner here. I guess I'll loosen it up a little bit. Okay. All righty. There we go. Okay. All right, I think everything's good now. Okay, now I can tighten up these screws down at the bottom. I'm kind of shocked how many parts I still have left on my desk. Because this looks pretty much done. Yeah, this must have been really challenging to design, with constraints of having everything be 3D printable and assemblable like this. It looks like they're cutting a lot of things close in terms of being able to fit a wrench in there. But we've got it. We got it. Verify the selector can move when being forced left and right. Yes, it can move. It takes quite a bit of force, but I think that's to be expected. We're having to backdrive that stepper motor. Okay, that's all good. Next up, idler body installation parts preparation. So, it's time to prepare for the idler body. It's 82 degrees in here. Oh no, that's probably from my laptop's exhaust. Maybe. We'll see if it cools off over here. Okay, so we need a square nut. Square nut anywhere. Where is our square nut? Here they are. Okay, one square nut, two M3 by 10s, two of the long bolts, M3 by 30s, two springs, these springs are kind of stuck together. Okay, two of those, and two 5 by 16 shafts. All right. Okay. So we're gonna take this. Holy cow! It's happening. It's going together. Okay, so we take this, put it in here. Take a look from the opposite side. Insert the 5x16 shafts. Okay. One goes in here. The other goes in here. All right, those are pushed in all the way. I'll push them in all the way. I probably didn't. There we go. Then fix the shaft in place by putting the M3 by 10 screw on top of it. Okay. Now, this is interesting. So let me get this started. Then I'll add some commentary here. So it looks like I just screw this in, and I'm guessing this is deforming the hole enough that it's pinching that pin and not letting it move anymore. So that's kind of a clever way to do things. You could even have like a cone-shaped hole so that the more you thread it in, the more it deforms and locks that pin in place. But that's only an assumption as to what's going on there. I don't know for sure, but it really does seem to be what's going on, because if you look inside of there, I'm not sure how well you can see it, but that hole is almost a little bit crescent shaped. And then when you thread this bolt in, it's going to squish it into a round shape, and that's going to just basically turn this hole into an interference fit for that pin. And it's just going to lock that pin down there. So we'll just go ahead and get that installed. If I were designing this, I might be tempted to use a M5 screw as the shaft for that bearing inside of there. But this is probably a better solution. Ta-da! All right. Now we got this thing. It's kind of reminiscent of a stapler. Or even just like a traditional printer, if you've ever taken a paper printer apart. Kind of looks like this. Okay. So, next up, open up the idler body, insert a square nut into that little left side opening. I think they could have tuned these models a little bit better to make sure that all the square nuts are press fits just ever so slightly. And that would allow you to insert all of those square nuts at the beginning. I think the reason why they have you install them at the last minute is so that they can't fall out while you're doing other things. Okay, but looks like we're all good here. And we're going to take a spring, put it in each one of these holes. Oops. Then take our long screws, one there, and one over here. And hold on, I'm going to check my battery. It might cause the stream to pause for just a second, so I'm going to check my battery. I got 30% left. We started with 70, so I think we're good for another hour. And I hope I can finish this by then, or at least a bulk of it. Okay, attach both springs, close the idler, tighten them until the screws are just above the surface. Okay, I over-tightened it. Let me just loosen those back up. Okay, screws are just above the surface. That's barely tightening them at all. But if you say so, Mr. PRUSA 3D help instructions. Do not tighten the screws too much. The top of the screw heads shouldn't be below the surface. Later, we'll use these screws to set the idler tension. Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, this does clamp down pretty hard on there. I just want to make sure they don't come loose over time, but that's something I'll have to look at later. Okay. So, control boards parts preparation. All right. Let's do that now. So we have this printed piece, which is just the electronics housing for the control board. And the control board is wrapped in a bunch of plastic here. We got our conductive bubble wrap. Ta-da! Okay. Alright, we'll turn the volume down so nobody on Discord can bother me now. Okay, so here's our little, whatchamacallit. I guess this goes right in here. The buttons are poking out so I can push them. Wow, there's a lot of parts here. Wow, there's little LEDs that go in there. Okay, let's not get too distracted here. So I need 3 of these screws. Ta-da! 3 of these bolts. I think I'm making pretty good time here. I don't know if I'm like fast or slow or what. But this part has like 40 steps, so maybe this is where I'll fall behind. Okay, so we're still 81 degrees Fahrenheit in here. We're keeping things nice and hot. Okay. I can do this. All right. Okay, so the way this tool works is I just push these in. Push in the next one, unscrew. I had 3 of these nuts stacked up and I'm just using them rapid fire one after the other. And get all 3 of them pressed in there. And then we will attach all of these. I didn't press them down far enough. Hold on. All right, there we go. Come on, there we go. Anyone who's put this together, can you tell me, am I like halfway through? Please tell me I'm at least halfway through. I need the moral victory here. The morale victory. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to get a pizza and all that. Get set up here for a long build session. Okay, so the other interesting thing is PRUSA is actually making their own PCBs now. They have their in-house PCB manufacturing, which sounds like a huge investment. You have to get all that pick-and-place equipment and like the soldering equipment and the board fabrication. I'm not sure if they're doing the board fabrication in-house, but that's a lot of work. But it looks like they're doing excellent work here. This is a really nice looking PCB. This looks nicer than the stuff that I have made in China. Not to say you can't have nice stuff made in China, it's just they're doing a very good job with their PCB manufacturing, apparently. Super clean, matte surface finish. Yep, looks good. So, at least, I mean, I kind of question the decision to take PCB manufacturing in-house just because that's a really expensive undertaking. But at least they're making good work, you know, with all that investment. Cool, so we've got our little buttons here, and we've got little indicator lights, so this should help us do the thing, whatever the thing is. All right. Let's figure out what to do with this next. We got this installed. Got those screws. Now we need the PD cable. It's not this one. Okay. Printer cable, X-Buddy. Maybe this is it? No, it's something else. There's another cable around here somewhere. Ta-da! I don't know where. There's only, okay, we got another print finished. Everything's falling apart. I've reached my mental fatigue limit. Now I'm at the point where my continued efforts are going to have diminished returns. But we're just going to keep going through that. Okay, so we've got this cable. That's not what I want. PD cable. Okay. All right. Printer cable version is in, okay. So we've got a different cable. Since we're MK4 people, we get this fancy new cable that I guess plugs straight into it. Looks like the old version required you to plug something into the power supply and all that. But We have the fancy new board, so this is our fancy new cable. All right. What next? M3 by 18 screws. Okay, that's a new screw size. So we're going to have to do some screw searching to find those screws. And I'm going to be increasingly incoherent as the stream goes on. All right, apparently I have to print a couple of these out. These are like the spool tensioning devices. So we just finished our second one. We've got 2 more to go. I will put these somewhere like over there. Okay. All right, so we got our cable. There's the PD board add-on. I think I can skip some steps here. I'm very confused now. Please help. Let's see. Anyone new cable? Take a break and walk away, grab something to eat. Why rush to complete and make a mistake? Yeah. I won't make a mistake. I'm just going to be less coherent. That's all. I would never put the functionality of my robot at stake. I mean, I was able to build this whole thing in a delirious haze. I just slow down and stop making sense after a certain point. But, you know, you still got to focus on putting things together in a logical way that just makes sense so that it just works. Hello chat, hello Trumpets Our Life, welcome. So I'm just trying to put this thing together, and now these instructions aren't super clear because I guess I have a different version since I'm using a MK4. I think like this stuff doesn't apply to me. I'm just gonna skip it. What is this? Yeah. Oh no, here's the PD board add-on. Ah, okay. Yeah, this printed part is looking familiar. Okay, yeah. So that's the only difference is the cable. I guess I still have to do all these steps. Okay. We're all good. Everything's just peachy. All right. What are we doing now? I don't need this cheat sheet. I can tell what length bolts are just by looking at them. So I don't need any of that. I do need to find these slightly longer bolts though, which I don't recall seeing anywhere. M3 by 18, there we go. Haha. They got a little bag of their own. Okay, M3 by 18, we'll grab 2 of those as per the instructions. So we'll slide this little bad boy in over here. I've designed a lot of electronics to do this kind of slide in into a 3D printed part. It's one of the best ways to mount PCBs because it's just so inexpensive and easy. All of the best things about engineering. You want to make things cheap as possible. Okay, and I still have no idea why this is a separate board that gets plugged in up here, but we're just going to go with it. Why isn't this all built into the same PCB? I don't know. Maybe someone will tell us one day. All right, that goes in like that. Gets seated. Cool. And it looks like these are poly fuses, these little green components. I think those will prevent overload. So like if you put 48 volts on this or something, it'll heat those up and they'll act just like normal fuses. I don't know for 100% sure, but that's what I think they are. Anyways, now that we've attached the PD board, okay. Oh, that gets plugged in over here? No. What the heck? Okay. Yes, this cable. See what I mean about the incoherence? But I get the things put together right. That's all that matters. Okay. So that's good. Connecting the cables. We want to set this up like this. I'll have this in front of me like this. Okay. We'll get a zoomed in picture here. So, our little green boy gets plugged in over here. Well, this cable wrapped around back. Yellow here. Magenta here. And our last one, blue, or maybe cyan. It's plugged in down here. And I like that they're using proper connectors here that have retention, because stepper motors coming unplugged is known to fry these trinamic stepper drivers. So yeah, I mean, this should be a new standard. As far as I'm concerned, everyone should be using these kind of retention clipped little guys. Okay. So that's all plugged in. Next step, just verifying that things are plugged in in the right way. I'm just going to assume I plugged things in the right way, because that's how I operate. Now I'll double check. Yeah. Yeah, that's all good. Okay. We'll put our last square nut. Where'd it go? I lost a square nut. Ah! Okay, well, hopefully that's not going to be a big deal. I don't see how that could possibly come back to bite us later. I'm just gonna hope that they provided a couple spare square nuts. Oh yeah, it says spare right there. Look at that. It says I got 2 spares. Okay, you know what? I need a Haribo. That's probably why I'm losing mental acuity. I think these Haribos are infused with Adderall and cocaine to help you stay vigilant while you're putting your gear together. That's why they put them in the bag. Okay. Zachary 3D Prints. Is Zachary 3D Prints here? I met him at a couple shows. I just saw him at Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Festival. I got him on camera. Oh, there he is. I might even publish that video someday. Okay. So I think this goes up here. I'm getting confused. I need to look at the instructions. Okay. This goes up here. Okay. All right, and here's our holes for our slightly longer screws, the M3x18s. Zachary, I do plan on making the video. It's just things happen, you know. I'm much nicer in person and on stream than I am on Twitter. I had multiple people tell me that. Okay, so I think this is good now. Here's all of our wires going into the back. Yeah, and our cables are all well behaved here. I think it wants the Pinda probe going around on the other side. Okay. All right. The only thing here is the Pinda probe is wrapped around this cable, which I don't like. So I will have to straighten that out. There we go. Ta-da. So, Zachary, did you know there's going to be a Form Next in America next year? Form Next wants to get in on that American convention life. Zachary, there's nothing wrong with reviewing stuff that you don't have. It actually works quite well. You don't even have to have something, and you kind of mastered that early on. So I think you just got to keep with it. Just be like, I'm reviewing the brand new whatever, and then not even have it, and just post an affiliate link. Do what you gotta do, man. Some people will get upset, but it's not that big a deal. Okay. That's all good now. Screws all good. Attach electronics. Okay. I'll put the last little bit of torque on there. Boop. Boop. All right. Textile sleeve preparation. Okay. Here's our textile sleeve. And zip ties. Can't believe PRUSA thinks I don't have zip ties, but I'll use their zip ties. Sure. Why not? This is the part where I need to complain about how there's 51 people in the chat, but only 40 likes. Oh my goodness. I can't believe some of you are watching and haven't liked the video. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have our textile sleeve. We have our zip ties. Time to manage these cables. All right. So, all right, let's see. We'll push this all the way to the side. Like so. Okay, oh my gosh. That's fine. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, you liked the video a long time ago. All right, we've got at least 7 people just liked it. Ah, Candid, thank you for hitting like twice. Hopefully that didn't cancel out the first like, but you never know. Okay, let's see. We've got to zip tie this Super Pinda probe over here. Oh, sorry, Super Finda probe. All right. We'll zip tie this. See, this is what 3D printing... Oh, you're not even able to see this. I'm so sorry. All right, this is... I put the zip tie on. Just so you know, I put the zip tie on. Okay, and then I'll put the next zip tie on. Now, I'm kind of like from the old school 3D printer mindset, where it's not just about the 3D printer, it's about the lessons you learn along the way. So like, by putting this together, you're learning how to build a nice wiring harness. You're learning how to use screws and fasteners and do integral 3D printed features into parts to make your designs all fancy. So in my opinion, this is what 3D printing is all about. Oh my goodness, that zoomed in a lot. No, we don't want that. Okay, wrap this in the textile wrap. If it isn't wrapped already, it's wrapped already. We don't need that. Okay, join the idler motor cable with the MMU printer cable on the right side. Idler motor cable, oh. What the heck is this? Join the idler motor cable. I don't know how that relates to how this is supposed to be, but we'll give it a try. Okay. Okay. So I guess, oh. No. We got this. So all of these go up top. Oh, what? This gets tucked in up here. Okay. Then this goes up here. And then it gets zip tied. Okay. All right, we've got 53 viewers and 52 likes. So that means one of you out there didn't like the video. And that's extremely upsetting. Extremely. Oh, there we go. Now we have 51 viewers and 52 likes. So we were able to solve the equation in the wrong way. We just had a couple people leave instead of liking the video like they should have. But you know what? I'll count that as a victory. Okay, and this is looking pretty good. It's saying to zip tie this last bundle together. Why not? Sure, let's do it. Blue, bundle the loose cables together. I don't really see any loose cables, but we're going to bundle them together anyways. All right, that's all good, and I'm going to cut off my excess zip tie. These are not very good at clipping. That's better. Ta-da, there we go. We got our little selector with our little Finda probe. Cool. We got our little green LEDs lighting up. You're probably not supposed to do that, but it looks cool. Okay. All right. So what's next? Leave as much slack as possible between the electronics and the motors so it can be opened up later. We'll just cut the zip ties later if we need to. All right. Frame holders, parts preparation. Okay. We've got some other stuff to build. I don't know why everyone is so scared of backdriving motors. I've never ever had an issue from that, on 3D printers at least. I can see an issue if you had a short circuit somewhere on your printer and you backdrove the motor, then it could cause some damage very easily. But if your printer's in good working order, I've never had an issue with it. So I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm lucky. Okay, so we have the frame that we need to assemble. So this comes with a pre-printed part. This guy right here. Ta-da. And these two little brackets. All right. We're going to need 6 screws. That's the rest of them almost. That's pretty much all of them. That means we're getting close to being done with this. 2 square nuts. I'm just going to dump them all out. Okay, so flip this over. Remember last time we left these nuts that are kind of retained by the stepper motor. Now I'm going to put these other 2 in. So now we've got 4 square nuts that I guess we'll use to bolt some stuff onto here. Fit the frame holders to the unit with 4 M4 screws. All right. Let's do it. Okay. Like that. So I imagine this could have been printed in one piece, but it would add extra support material or something, or it would get in the way of other operations during the assembly. So this is how we're doing it. We follow the instructions here. All right, that's done. Next, yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did all that. Fix the, yeah. Now we install the label plate. Okay. Huh, this is starting to come together. Look at this little guy. You're getting close-up views from now on. Oh, crap. Okay. Hold on, I just have to get my tripod going here. Okay. All right. Look at this little chunkster here. It looks great. All right, so we gotta put the nameplate on. Probably want to put that right side up. 2 M3s. It is a little bit of a missed opportunity to not have you print this yourself with the MMU. You know, like print out all the colors and all that with whatever first 4 colors you end up loading up into this thing. But this is fine too. I like the way it looks. Now, I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but every time I've built a printer, I have a harder time getting rid of it. So I think that's part of the psychology of MMU enjoyment. You're putting all this time into building it. You're going to like it. You're going to be like, that's my little pet. And I'm already feeling that way. This looks like my little pug here. My little chinchilla. Or cat. I don't know. All right, so next up, put the screws in, did that. Oh no, now I need to feed a bunch of PTFE tubes. PTFE tubes. So I've got these tubes. I have this bundle of tubes, and I will get 5 of them. And we'll put them in here. So it's pretty straightforward. Flip this over. I guess it's this side up. Oh my goodness, it's a little top heavy. It's okay, I'll just support it. All right, 5 PTFE tubes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm just pushing them all the way in so they're seated. All right, this feels solid. These are in there nicely. Like, you know, you could swing this thing around like a flail by these. They're okay, probably don't do that. Anyways, next up I need to loosen up the idler tension screws. So I guess we just loosen them up all the way and open it up. Ta-da! So these screws are held captive inside of this construction that we built earlier. And insert the PTFE tubes. I mean, I already inserted them. What does it want? Okay, there are small windows next to each of the pulley positions. Verify the PTFE tube is inserted all the way. Yes, I mean, I know how to insert a PTFE tube. They're all, I can see it in the window. I don't know why it had me do that. If I would have read those instructions, I'd be like, don't worry, I got it. I got this. Okay. Anyways, next step. If you want to see it, here, why don't you take a look too, my audience. You see those little inside of there? These little windows. You can see the faint fluorescence of the PTFE tube through those windows. So that verifies that you installed it and you're not an idiot. Okay. Okay, close the unit and tighten the idler tension screws slightly. Adjust both of the idler tension screws so the top of the screw is slightly above the top of the idler body. Okay. Okay. The correct idler tension is crucial. Okay. And might require further adjustment on your MMU. With idler tension too low, the MMU might struggle with grabbing the filaments. With it too high, it will struggle with determining its home position. And the MMU won't work properly. Okay, that's fine. Ooh, yay. All right. Next step, I've got sticker application, which is always the best part of a build. You don't get treatment like this from other companies. You're going to put your own stickers on here, just like it's a Lego kit. I don't know if they still do your own stickers on Legos, but that used to always be a fun thing to do. So we got our stickers. And let's see. All right, parts are self-printed. Yeah, looks like the build is going great. Crucial idler tension in the MMU2 is a single turn or two after the screw catches, barely any tension necessary. All right. Well, don't worry about it, Jonathan Michael Johnson. I will ensure the proper tension is applied. Also, we've got a serial number and everything on here. So that's cool. Oh, wait, I shouldn't show you my serial number in case you use my MMU in a crime. Okay. Anyways, let's see. This gets slapped on the back here. Don't worry, we'll cut the serial number in post. This is no longer a ghost MMU. It has a serial number. All right, and then we have our mandatory safety stickers that are basically saying, read the manual. Don't get your fingers crushed. Unplug it. Gears. And also, yield. Or something. But we'll get this sticker applied. All right. All right, and when I apply stickers, something I learned very early on is you want to really push some, put some good force onto it. Stickers, also known as pressure-sensitive adhesives, are sensitive to pressure. So if you press on them more, they'll stick stronger. So you really want to squish them down when you're doing that. All right, good night, Zach. Thanks for joining the stream. All right. But the show will go on, with or without him. We don't need Zach here. Cassette buffer assembly. We're almost done. I think our actual MMU is finished. This is like the actual MMU. The rest is just random stuff. I'll put this, I don't know where to put this. I want to get it off the table though because I think these next steps are going to require a lot of room. Okay, so, all right, buffer assembly. Difficulty moderate. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get the tools. Okay, so we're going to need this. Ah, crap. This was a Ziploc bag and I just tore into it. Okay, buffer plates, 6 of them. Printer holder. Segmenter. Buffer leg. M3x30 screws. And regular nuts. No, square nuts. We got them there. Okay. Peeling the plates. Okay, we have to peel off the protective layers off both sides of the plate. All right, I'm going to put the mic up close so you can get all these juicy noises. I'm struggling. Let me know if these noises are too much. I know it might be too much for some of you, but The buffer is the worst. Limited options for mounting it and angles necessary to keep low tension spools. Oh no. These panels are part of the buffer system. So on the Bamboo Lab AMS and also the Creality AMS copy, whatever they're calling it, CMS, Creality Management System. They use a motor to back drive the spool. And also on the AMS Lite, Bamboo Lab is using a spring-loaded spool on a clutch. I mean, people saw that and they were like, "Oh my gosh, that's so genius!" It's really not that big of a deal, guys. It's just a spring-loaded spool on a clutch so that it doesn't just wind to the spring infinitely. Not a big deal, guys. But it's still pretty clever, I'll admit. Okay, anyways, but that's just to manage the slack that you get when you retract the old filament and put the new filament in. On this system, they use a buffer, which is basically like a big capacitor for filament. So filament feeds through it normally, and then when you do the retraction to change colors, it winds any leftover filament back onto this buffer. And then it prints with the other color, and then when it switches back to this, it reloads the filament that's on the buffer. So yeah, I mean, it's just like a YouTube video. You have that little reddish bar in front of the play bar. Like if you look at the progress bar at the bottom of a YouTube video, there's a little buffer there that tells you how much of the video is loaded. Alright, so we got all those peeled. Hopefully that wasn't too traumatic. All that sensual peeling. Okay, so let's get this next piece. Looks like this goes in here. I'm not going to overcomplicate things. Although I wish... Oh, is this symmetric? It's more or less symmetric. Okay. And then we put some square nuts in there. Now I'm really confused what these are for, because it says they're required for like most of the steps in this build, but I haven't had to use them yet. Alright, we got our whatever's in there. Let's get some of these whatevers out of the thing. Oh, okay. Huh. I got a little ahead of myself. I haven't read the instructions yet, but I can just taste it. I'm pretty sure these go in like this, and then you tighten the screws through it, and then it locks everything in place. So when are they going to come up with a better name for the enraged rabbit carrot feeder? Because you got to admit that's a terrible name. Oh, that's not right. Okay. Well, I will read the instructions. So the actual spool can't be itself just rolled back when changing the color? Yeah, that's the challenge. It's like, how do you actually get the spool to rotate backwards? I mean, Bamboo Lab has their own systems for doing that, but PRUSA is doing it differently, apparently. The original AMS system is actually quite complicated because it has the buffer and it has extra motors. It has like a bunch of extra motors to drive each spool. So, yeah. All right. Okay. All right, next step. Okay, so it's saying I need to do it this way. Okay, I can do that. I'm just gonna, okay. These sheets are absolute static. They're like pure static electricity. Hold on, let me check I got 12% battery on my phone. So we'll keep this stream going as long as we can. But if I'm fast, I bet I can finish this. So couldn't this system be expanded to be like 12 spools wide? Wouldn't that make sense? I'd rather let the spools hang above the feeding unit so that it retracts nowhere and then just have the steppers feed in it. Yeah. I'm just going to set it up stock, and once I understand how the system works, I might try to mess with it or improve it or something. But for now, I'm more than happy to just do it how the manufacturer recommends. That way, if there's problems, I can blame it on them. You know what I mean? I have like a easy out to save my ego. Huh. Okay. This isn't threading in. I might be in trouble. Are these M30s? M30s. I didn't poke these. Or did I? Yeah, those should all be bottomed out. Huh. All right, I'm going to use the pliers now. Yeah, those should be bottoms. Ah. No. I think I know what's going on here. I put these screws in before bottoming out those square nuts, so now they're stuck under. Yeah, they were stuck under the square nuts. Okay. I think the tolerances of those holes could be reworked a little bit to prevent me from doing this and messing it up in this way, but that's fine. Okay. If I'm selling the MK3 V2, oh no, I'm not selling anything right now. This is clearly a chat interaction that I should not get involved in. All right, there we go. Next one. This thing goes over here. Come on. Cool, got that one. All right, got that. Next. All right, yeah, put the extra things in. Got it. Okay, yeah. I'm doing all these steps. Okay, then the last thing is to put these clips in. And they just kind of snap in place. Well, okay. Hopefully that works. Well, I'll be darned, it just kind of works. These things are just kind of snapping in place. Nothing crazy here, they're just kind of spacers. I suppose this whole thing could have been 3D printed. This whole buffer system could have been like one big 3D print. But they went with the kind of like binder material almost approach, which I'm fine with. Okay, let's see. Did I assemble this correctly? I did not. I put this together backwards. But I'm okay with that. Hopefully it can go back with it on this side or that side. We'll figure it out later. Okay. All right. All right, then the buffer segments. So I only have 2 of these printed. So we'll just do 2 of them. And that will have to be representative for, you know, what the rest of it's like. Basically, it's this wheel. You put it in there. Then you put the other side on here. And then you bolt them together. I think, yeah. And for each one, I need a little bearing. Okay, so that's what these are for. Each one needs a little bearing and a little pin. Okay, so I'll just get out what I need and then put the rest away so I don't lose them. But look how cute these little tiny little bearings are. Look at those. Okay. Okay, so that's got a little bearing that gets pushed into it. Okay, probably the best way to do this is to put a bolt through it to keep it straight up and down. Oh crap, I pushed that too far. That's better. There we go. Now we have our little bearing in there. We'll do that for the 2 wheels we can assemble right now. Just use a bearing. We'll just put a bolt onto this so that I have like a handle to help manage the stress. There we go. Now we've got 2 little guys here. Okay. And then I have to trap a little pin in here. All right, so now there's a pin. Put this wheel on there and look at it spin. That's just good, fun stuff right there. All right, and then I just push that together. Ta-da! Now I have like a little handheld fidget spinner. Woo, fidget spinners, wah! Okay, there you go, that's one. Ah, no. I dropped one. All right, there we go. And this will probably use, yeah, I'm going to use normal nuts and bolts for this, according to the instructions there. We got to find all of these nuts and bolts. I think it uses these smaller ones. Okay, so that makes sense why I have a big bag of these. And where are the nuts? I'm going to check, I've got 6% battery, so I think we can get this at least all the subcomponents assembled. After that, I think I'm probably going to cut it and just show you my experience running the MMU. So, yeah, we're not going to see everything here today. I do have to find that last bag of nuts. There they are. Okay. All right. Wow. This is so much fun. So much fun. PETG is a lovely material. Uh-oh, Lost in Tech is slinging accusations in the chat. I gotta see this. Why are we not doing this in a micro center? Ah, yeah. Well, maybe we are. I like the way Mario Man from Finland thinks. All right. I mean, this would be a lot easier in a micro center, but I don't think micro center sells PRUSA printers. That's one big hurdle there, I guess. And I wouldn't trust other printers to build these parts, just because the tolerances are so fine-tuned on these components that, like, you're going to have a much easier time if you just print everything on PRUSA machines. Stay in the ecosystem. Now these are some finely engineered tiny little thingies. These little cartridges. Just look at that. Look at it spin. Oh. That's just pleasant. All right, so I got one of these assembled. Let's get the other one. So after I get these two assembled, I'm going to move to the next step and just pretend I have all of them done now. But I need to print. I got 2 more to print, and one of them's half done. I guess 3 more to print, and one of them's half done. So I need to print 2.5 more of these little guys. So Lost in Tech did a video on the MMU, if you're craving some MMU content right now. I think he had some pretty good insights of the system, but he didn't do any of the assembly. So if you want to see all of that good stuff, you've got to see it here. Right here on the Nathan Builds Robots 3.5-hour live stream. Which is a perfectly reasonable amount of time to spend watching me build something. All right, those are all in there. No, don't say that, JJ. And of course, Lost in Tech did it in 3 hours. Of course he did. I bet it took him like a day, a full day, with no breaks. That's why he deleted the footage. He was ashamed of how long it took him. He'd lose all of his 3D printing street cred. All right, fidget spinner number 2 complete. Yeah, fidgets. Okay, so those are done. Let's move on to the next step. Okay, so apparently I've completed all of this. Oh, what? Version A and version B? MMU, okay. I'm just gonna ignore that. And I did all this already. Okay. All right, now I need the collets. So the collets go into these little guys. Okay. So just like this. And I wish there was another multi-material option on the market, but there's nothing. There's nothing out there. PRUSA is the only company that has a multi-material unit that I know of. There might be something out there that I don't know of. Okay, we got our little fidget spinners fully assembled. Then we insert the cartridges into the machine. All right. There we go. Okay, this is what we've all been waiting for. Yes. Let's see it. Cool. Okay. All right, we only have 2 out of the 5 so far. PTFE tubes. All right, let's get our PTFE tubes ready. We've got 5 of them that get fed into the top here. Of course, I'll only have 2. Okay. And then the PTFE clip. Which I can only assume goes here. Next. Spool holder. Man, this just goes on forever, doesn't it? I think I've got to be over halfway done at this point. But I'm going to have to finish. If your filament moves okay in those tubes, mine are super tight on this 1.75. We'll see. I'm sure it'll be fine. As they say, it just works. So the last pieces I have are all in here. I got spool holders. Oh. And these are all injection molded, so you don't have to print these yourself. Oh no, I'm dropping, oh no, that bounced behind some stuff. Oh no. These are Delrin, so they're super slippery. That's why it just slipped right out of my hands. But I'll put one of these together for illustrative purposes. Okay, so I guess this goes there. And this, yes. Yes, I see. So simple. Yes. Yeah, this is the easiest part. This is just snap these together. Oh. Oh, snap. I did that wrong. That's my fault. Okay. So this, yeah, you just put that there. These two snap together. I assume you can put like a screw in here if you really want to screw these together. I don't know if that's necessary. So that's, I guess that's a new addition that they did. These are just injection molded. And then I can slide this on here. And I need to find a wheel that just disappeared behind my desk. Okay. Okay. They made it more complicated than MMU2. I don't know about that. This isn't really that complicated. But I don't know what you're talking about. So maybe there is something that I'm unaware of that is more complicated. In terms of a spool holder, I don't see why you couldn't just get a big shower curtain type thing and hang all these from the ceiling. I imagine that's what I'm going to do for this long term. Just because my desk space is limited, so I don't want to have all these spool holders here on my desk. Oh, cool. You can have them in a straight line or in a curved. Huh. I'll just do straight for now. This is kind of neat. This is like the PRUSA version of a train kit. By the way, guys, if the stream just dies, that's because my phone's out of battery. So yeah, that's a possibility here. Yeah, the stuff around needs to be replaced with a CF nylon or whatever. Oh, yeah. Right, yeah, there's some printed parts that they sent. Idler lever, like this is all for the next extruder to upgrade pieces on it. It's just a couple small parts. Hopefully that's not very complicated. No, are you kidding me? Is the extruder rebuild really that difficult? One question, why didn't PRUSA just assemble these? Like, they could have shipped these out assembled at least. It'd take up less space than this. I'm afraid I know the answer to the question. It's not that bad, just kind of messy. All right. Like greasy or something? I assume there's a lot of grease inside of it if you have to take it apart that far. On the gears. Okay. That's that. That wasn't too complicated. Okay, and then these get installed in the middle of each one. All right. Yeah, I'll have to find a place to set this up because this is looking like it's going to take a lot of room. But that's all assembled here. Okay, continue. Okay, then we get to the extruder mod. Oh dear. Oh dearie. It says very difficult. Watch out, guys. This part's very difficult. There's 28 steps. And you have a spare parts bag. Okay. Well, I have all these screws, so that shouldn't be that difficult. So you take this apart, you pull off the little extruder arm, you take it out. Okay. You take this thing apart and you salvage the little bearings that are in there. All right. You put a little magnet in the thing. Okay. Okay. Oh, wow. You even main plate assembly. New main plate. There's a new main plate. What? No. We will need the newly supplied main plate. It's different from the original main plate. Printed from PTG. Don't use the old main plate. What? Where's the new main plate? I have this bag of parts. Oh, there it is. There it is. I see it. There's the new main plate in there. So I think I'll get started on that tomorrow. Because today, I think I'm done with this for now. Let's see. It's been almost 4 hours. If you think that's an acceptable amount of time to put together a multi-material unit, then this might be a good product for you. And it should probably only be another 2 hours before I have this running. I'm pretty confident that that extruder piece is going to take maybe 1 hour. And then I just have to plug in all the Bowden tubes and finish the last couple little cartridge things. But at least we have something to show for our work today. Look at this. We got this whole unit put together. It's pretty good. Yeah. So, yeah, that's about all I have the energy for today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe, even though all 30 of you that are here are probably already subscribed. And make sure to stay tuned for the video where I actually do some multicolor printing. Also, today's watch is the Casio G-Shock something. It's in the description. And there's some other affiliate links to the stuff I've been working with today, if you want to check that out. All right. It does look good, but mess with the tubes doesn't? Yeah. Maybe they could consolidate into like a single 4-wide tube thing. But even on like the AMS Lite, they have that mess of Bowden tubes. It seems kind of inevitable. Unless you have some kind of solid thing that manages all of them. Watch Brazil, then talk to me about tubes. Yeah. Okay, well, thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.